Hello everyone, welcome to watch my Studio 3 reflection video. My video will explain 4 models to everyone. This semester I wanted to create an animation to terrifying elements. Therefore, I conducted a brainstorming and create a mind map, which was determined to combine with children's mental health to create a relatively long 2D animation. Here is the current issue I want to solve and the reason, and finally animation I want to produce and the challenge I faced. I have researched for many excellent works on related topics, among which these 3 have given me a lot of inspiration in terms of narrative and expressive techniques. They are Little Nightmares, Poppy Time, and Framble. Here is the method. Firstly, I will study the cause of current psychological problems in children, analyze the symptoms and the role played by parents in them, and then design the plot and character and the background. Then I will organize the switching between the inner and the outer works and the overall plot logic, and then use Create to draw keyframe and frame by frame animations, and then use AE for other dynamic parts of animation and editing, and finally adding sound effects and background music. Finally, I will release and export it. The final outcome is approx 5 minutes to the animation, and the entire animation is 2-dimensional, switching back and forth between 2 words. And the importance is using animation to explain how children perceive the world when they have psychological problems, where the root cause of these psychological problems lie, what children's demands are, and how we consciously raise our attention to children's psychological problem, and then combining various animation expression methods. And in terms of content, I will first stimulate social discussion on children's psychological problem, and the number 2 is added thought-provoking elements to traditional horror elements. Here is the timetable this semester. In concept stage, I first collect the many horror elements about children and a picture of color tones as a mood board. About the color palette, I choose 2 typical tones from horror movies as the distinction between the outer world and the inner world, with red indicating harm and green indicating fear. This is our protagonist, Lily, who has an unfortunate family of origin, and as a result, she has heavy mental illness and begins to have some imagination of horrible. These are some of the terrifying monsters I designed in the inner world, which are transformed by the real-life experience of Lily. What I'm going to show next is the storyboard, starting from the perspective of an imprisoned little girl who yearned for the outside world. On this day, her parents, who are arguing, turn into monsters. From then on, she wakes up to find herself in a mental hospital, and her little bear is leading her out. Along the way, she encounters terrifying monsters and doors that she once had. She thinks of many bad memories, But in the end, she successfully escaped from this place. But everything was not as simple as it seemed. Here are some things from animation testing. Now we can briefly watch the animation testing video. After 4 weeks of learning and production, I have completed all the preliminary work and successfully started the drawing work. I have always wanted to create a relatively long piece of work, but in the previous work production, the earlier project approval and art production and information collection were not ideal, and I finally gave up. This time the progress was relatively smooth, with a variety of excellent works with horror elements and a lot of inspiration to draw from. And I have come up with the idea of combining children's perspectives to narrative stories. Recently, some social events have made me realize that children's psychological problems are also need to be taken seriously. In the next stage, I will start drawing animation materials. I hope to use two completely different tones to interpret two words in the eyes of children, and to think about how to appropriately mobilize the audience attention, and as well as discover the impact of children's mental problems on their worldview. I will also consider completing the workload and the progress as scheduled. That's all the content. Thank you for watching.